The drama between Sauncy Santana and his ex, Chef D, has been making waves online, with Chef D airing out some serious allegations in a very public and messy way. According to the tea being spilled, Chef D took to social media to announce their breakup, but it wasn't just a simple "we're done" statement. He got personal, claiming Sauncy Santana had STDs and infected bumps between his thighs, going as far as to say Santana smelled bad and wasn't his type. Chef D even threw shade about Santana's appearance, calling his veneers disgusting and yellow, and saying he only stayed with him out of pity and because they'd built a bond over time. This was a shocking turn, considering the two were together for 5 years, starting back in 2018 before Santana's rise to fame. Their relationship wasn't always this chaotic, at least not in the public eye. They kept things relatively low-key with occasional appearances together, and even shared the spotlight on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Santana stood by Chef D through thick and thin, including when Chef D was arrested. Meanwhile, Chef D showed his devotion by getting Santana's name tattooed on his wrist and even talking about marriage. In one clip, Chef D was gushing about how much Santana meant to him, saying the tattoo was a personal choice, not an obligation, and that he wanted to work toward a future together. They'd been through a lot, and at one point, it seemed like they were solid. So, how did things go from love and tattoos to this level of public shade? Chef D's recent claims are wild, especially since he's now saying he was never intimate with Santana because of these alleged issues. He went on live, doubling down, claiming Santana's hygiene was a problem and that he was never his type, preferring light-skinned pretty boys instead. He even accused Santana of being sneaky, alleging that Santana went behind his back to pursue other men, including Zell Swag, someone Chef D introduced him to. According to Chef D, he found out Santana and Zell were getting close, which left him feeling betrayed. This whole situation paints a picture of a relationship that went sour in the most dramatic way possible. Santana didn't sit back quietly, though. He clapped back, calling out Chef D for using his name for clout. He pointed out how he was there for Chef D when he got out of jail, being the first person Chef D called. Santana claims Chef D wanted to leverage his platform to announce his release and boost his own image. Instead of focusing on his career as a chef, like promoting cooking videos or shows, Chef D has been dragging Santana's name through the mud. Santana even threw shade back, questioning why Chef D hasn't been open about his own legal troubles and what landed him in jail in the first place. According to Santana, Chef D's whole persona is built off riding his coattails, which makes this public betrayal sting even more. Zell Swag, who was dragged into the mess, didn't hold back either. He jumped in to defend Santana, throwing shots at Chef D's appearance, joking about his prehistoric veneers and calling them Fred Flintstone teeth. Zell and Santana had a brief romantic stint on Love and Hip Hop, and though their relationship didn't last, it's clear Zell still has Santana's back. He made it known he never vibed with Chef D, adding fuel to the already fiery drama. The back and forth between these three has the internet in a frenzy, with everyone picking sides and weighing in on the chaos. The timeline of their relationship adds more context to the mess. Santana and Chef D linked up in 2018, right before Santana's music career took off with hits like Walk 'Em Like a Dog and his viral TikTok moments. They were a power couple for a while, with Chef D supporting Santana's rise and Santana holding him down during tough times like his arrest. They shared cute moments, like when Santana gifted Chef D a bouquet of roses in 2022, which had Chef D over the moon. He posted about how much he loved the gesture, calling Santana his baby and saying he'd always cherish it. Fast forward to now, and Chef D's out here saying he was never into Santana physically and only stayed out of obligation. It's a complete 180 from the love he was professing not too long ago. To make matters messy, there's another layer to Chef D's character being called into question. Another reality TV personality, Anthony, who was on Zeus Network's Bad Boys with Chef D, spilled some tea of his own. He claimed Chef D was a disaster when he cooked for his birthday party, serving raw, soggy food and charging $50 a plate. Worse, Anthony said Chef D left his kitchen and garage in shambles, with maggots everywhere because he didn't clean up. Anthony also alleged that Chef D's spot on the show was thanks to Santana's clout, which makes his current behavior seem even more like a betrayal. The consensus online is that Chef D is trying to capitalize on Santana's fame while throwing him under the bus. The internet has been eating this drama up, with most people rallying behind Santana. Fans are pointing out the hypocrisy in Chef D's actions, noting that he didn't have a problem with Santana when he was benefiting from their relationship. One commenter said Chef D's sudden claims about Santana's hygiene and appearance are hard to believe after 5 years together, especially since he was openly affectionate before. Others are calling Chef D out for chasing clout, especially since he's been in legal trouble and might be looking for attention to stay relevant. Some even brought up Santana's past, saying his history of shading people online might have invited this kind of energy, but most agree Chef D crossed a line with the personal attacks. There's also talk that Chef D might be trying to backtrack. Word on the street is that he's been reaching out, possibly begging for a reconciliation, which has fans raising their eyebrows. After airing out Santana's business like that, it's hard to imagine them patching things up. Santana has been vocal about feeling used, and the betrayal runs deep, especially since he was loyal during Chef D's darkest moments. The fact that Chef D is now allegedly cozying up to Santana's op to spill more tea about their relationship only adds insult to injury. This whole saga has sparked a bigger conversation about loyalty, fame, and how personal relationships play out in the public eye. Santana's been open about wanting to keep his love life private in recent years, but with this kind of drama, it's hard to stay out of the spotlight. Fans are wondering if he'll address this further or if he'll let it slide and focus on his music and career. Meanwhile, Chef D's actions are being seen as a desperate grab for attention, especially since his own career hasn't taken off the way he'd hoped. Whether this is the end of their story or just another chapter in their messy saga, one thing's for sure, the internet's going to keep talking about it. The situation is a reminder of how messy breakups can get when they're aired out for the world to see. Santana's got a loyal fan base, and they're not here for Chef D's antics. But with both sides throwing shots and old receipts being pulled up, it's clear this drama isn't dying down anytime soon. What do you think about Chef D's allegations? Did he go too far, or is there some truth to his side? And can Santana forgive him after this kind of public humiliation? The tea is piping hot, and everyone's waiting to see what happens next. The drama between Sauncy Santana and his ex, Chef D, has been making waves online, with Chef D airing out some serious allegations in a very public and messy way. According to the tea being spilled, Chef D took to social media to announce their breakup, but it wasn't just a simple or done statement. He got personal, claiming Sauncy Santana had STDs and infected bumps between his thighs, going as far as to say Santana smelled bad and wasn't his type. Chef D even threw shade about Santana's appearance, calling his veneers disgusting and yellow, and saying he only stayed with him out of pity and because they'd built a bond over time. This was a shocking turn, considering the two were together for 5 years, starting back in 2018 before Santana's rise to fame. Their relationship wasn't always this chaotic, at least not in the public eye. They kept things relatively low-key with occasional appearances together, and even shared the spotlight on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Santana stood by Chef D through thick and thin, including when Chef D was arrested. Meanwhile, Chef D showed his devotion by getting Santana's name tattooed on his wrist and